Vida Mara area for the CascadiaSports.net Seahawks practice report. It's really that training camp is over for all intents and purposes, and also what's the thing with that is there's intentionality by the Seahawks and Pete Carroll to make sure that this now becomes a they get in the day game routine, right? They've got a preseason game coming up on Saturday, but as Pete said, it's time for the players to see what it's like really practice-wise, meeting-wise, in terms of having a game of a regular season game. But a lot happened today in terms of some there were some personnel changes, and so here is Pete Carroll to talk about what happened in terms of players coming back to practice.
Guys come back to work and been on the field, hadn't been there, and just to give you some numbers here, Homer got back on the field, Travis Homer and DJ Reid got back on the field, Ethan, Posek, Gino, Tyler Mabry, Cedric, he got back on the field today, so we have a big return of guys coming back to work, which is great. And there's a new guy, number 82 out there. I didn't catch his name, but he got out of the field today too. So it's really good to feel those guys come back and just be back into the flow of things. And for some of these guys, it's to get a couple of days under their belt to see when they can get back to competing and really battling for their spots and all that. But just felt good to see them off. So that's a nice deal.
What was the thought behind bringing Luke back?
All right, so there it is. Pete Carroll just talking about all the players that came back, and as a result, you can just see that today was a very, very festive day in terms of practice in of itself. It's getting there. You know, the preseason game, as Pete, you just heard from Pete, it's time for the players that haven't played or seen a little bit, it's time for them to play. You only got one more kind of audition tape for yourself for the coaches, and unfortunately, what have you for other teams if you don't make the roster. But this is it. It is time to perform, and so that's what you're seeing this whole week now. So, and the other thing there, practice in of itself, we saw what we always saw. Russell Wilson on cue, but today, him and Tyler Lockett had one of those incredible Wilson to Lockett. It was way down there, touchdown catch, and Pete was asked about it after practice. Well, what'd you think of the play? It was really the highlight of the practice, and Pete said, well, again, there's a great example just of how those guys are, how special they are. And it was, again, spirited practice. Other players that really shone today, Duane Eskridge, the rookie, and again, he's another one of those that will see a lot of time on Saturday and given a chance to really show what he can do. He was injured, and they're expecting a lot out of him. And he's practicing really well, and we'll see what he can do on Saturday. Rashad Penny's the other one in terms of he was injured, and he's been coming along. Last game against the Broncos, he saw some reps, and Pete said, well, no, it was a rhythm thing. But Pete today said, look for Rashad to see a lot of time. And I suspect you might see some of the starters for maybe a series, or either way, you're going to see Rashad Penny playing with a not starting lineup, offensive line, but a B+ type of offensive lineup. So I would look for that. And Ethan Posek was back practicing, speaking of kind of a B+ offensive line, and Pete said it's a day-to-day thing, but it's great to have him return. And Kyle Fuller's ahead for the moment, but as time goes on, Posek will continue to be given that opportunity if he can stay healthy. So very spirited practice. A lot of the personnel changes came. You heard that from Pete Carroll. And that's it for the training camp report practice for CascadiaSports.net. I'm Vida Mara.